All right, guys, continuing our countdown of our top 5 favorite things about RM28, this 1970 Hemi Cuda. And that comes down to just our favorite thing, which is drivability. Because at the end of the day, you got to be able to hop in this car, turn the keys, and rip it down the road and have fun with it. That's the whole point of this whole thing. So contributing to the drivability is the stuff that actually touches the road. So the wheels, tires, and suspension. So come take a ride with Esparza. Let's jump in this thing and rip it down the road.
When I talk about it in an intro and outro about how this is like my favorite thing, my favorite days at work, this is why. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this. This is the coolest car. I mean, a Cuda to me, as far as the Mopars go, 70 Cuda is the best looking Cuda out there. It's right up there with the 68 Charger for me. I think those two cars are probably the most well-known, most iconic. Even against the Camaro, I love a 69 Camaro, you know, and I'm kind of a Chevy guy at heart, but the look of a 70 Cuda is just so killer. These designs at this time they were just peak, you know, we peaked as a country as far as muscle car design during this time. When we saw this car, we saw it had a lot of good improvements. It was a pretty freshly built car. We can't take the credit for most of the build on this car. This car was 99% there when we bought it. We changed things, we sorted out things. We did change the fuel system on it, change the front accessory drive, dialing in. All that last 10% when you have a completely hand-built custom car takes a while. And that's what we spent our time doing on this car, making sure that when we do take a car like this out and go on a ride-along video like you're in right now with me, it's just going to be an enjoyable experience. I'm not going to be sitting here talking about all the weird, finicky things. A lot of times you get into a car that's really heavily customized, and they have little nuances to them. You know, they lose a little bit of the drivability due to custom one-off things. This car has a lot of stuff that is like engineered from a company that has spent a lot of time like just on the suspension, just on the brakes, vintage air. So stuff that is just dialed, you know, we know these are proven parts companies. And so when you put it all together on a car like this, it's a good formula. You got to do little things to get it all to work together. And that's what we spent a little bit of time doing to make the whole package cohesive so that I can just leave the shop, have no intended route, no plan, just decide with you guys in the car, hey, I want to go cruise around this island in San Diego Bay, you know, and just putz this thing around. Maybe if it's just 20 miles per hour in first and second gear, this thing has no issue doing it. We just did like a third gear rip to get on the freeway. There's a lot of stuff on this car that's brand new. The clutch probably has 800 miles on it. We just went through the rear end on this car. We had Pro Gear completely rebuild the rear end on this car. So I'm not doing any burnouts or hard launches because this rear end is still in break-in mode. But that's good peace of mind. You guys know you have a brand new rear end, a brand new crate engine from Mopar. This is not some junkyard engine that we pulled out. This is a brand new from Mopar, and then the same thing, like the computer is all new from Holley, the alternator is brand new. All the parts on this car are new. A lot of them have a warranty. The transmission is not a junkyard transmission. This thing's brand new from Tremec. It's built to handle this power level, no issue. So that's kind of a plus. There is a double-edged sword with brand new parts. So when we bought this car, kind of the double-edged sword is that when you're driving cars that are put together and have no miles on them, it's inevitable that you're gonna sort out little things. Like I said, like the rear end. The rear end had been rebuilt before, but it wasn't an exact rebuild, so it started making a little noise. I went ahead and decided, you know what, let's pull it out, let's have it gone through again by a trusted source. Pro Gear here does all of our rear ends. They did that. Those are just the kind of things that pop up that makes it, like I said, a double-edged sword when you are dealing with a car with all new parts. So what we do is take that double-edged sword and dull one side for you basically by putting some miles on it, driving it, breaking it in. Like I said, right now, this car is 800 miles on a lot of these parts. And so you can be rest assured that, that everything's gonna be good for you.
All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that ride with Esparza, and here's where I need your help. I want you to drop in the comments, what's the first place you're gonna drive RM28, this 1970 Hemi Cuda, if you are the grand prize winner, taking home this car and $50,000 in cash. We wanna hear from you, so let us know in the comments where you would drive this thing. Of course, you gotta be in it to win it, so head over to RestoMods.com, claim those entries, and you could be starting off your 2025 with this incredible dream ride and $50,000 in cash. We're gonna keep the countdown going with our top 5 favorite things about this Hemi Cuda.